Well, hello there, everybody. This is Cody Engdahl, and I don't really have a fancy name for my show or my channel. I just call my channel Cody C. Engdahl, and today I'm calling this. See, I can't even see it now, but it was what was it? Anyway, you can read it in the title. So this is all right. Well, I guess there's no usual time for me because I had been. This is maybe like my fourth week in a row now that look, I got somebody. The fourth week in a row that I've been live streaming on YouTube, and what I'm trying to do is just kind of build YouTube up, build up my channel here. So if you are watching, please subscribe and hit and like the video. But I wanted to start using my platform here not only to just kind of be a dumping ground for my videos, but also to talk about writing, to talk about the process of writing, the process of editing, and the endless process of marketing. Which actually, I enjoy the marketing part of being an author as much as I like actually the writing part. I really do enjoy it, and I got a few things to tell you. Some new things that I've learned, and I've heard. I study a lot of social media marketing. I actually like that a lot too. I listen to the Michael Stelzner's social media marketing podcast, and they say that you don't necessarily have to be a expert to teach other people. In fact, sometimes it's really good to be on the path yourself and being very honest and open about your own experiences and your successes and your failures. And so that's what I'm kind of doing here is that I'm trying to build an audience. I'm trying to build really a readership, and on the smaller goal, I'd like to have a larger audience on YouTube that I can talk to. That ultimately, yes, the ultimate goal, the end goal, is to sell books. But I think this is also an interesting place to talk about it. I'm eventually going to get the capacity of bringing other people on, other authors, whether they be ones that are well established or people who are just trying, who are beginning and learning along the way. In fact, I have a couple now. So I have Elmer Lloyd Jr. He's got two books out, and I helped him. Hello there. Um, V1NCE. I don't know how to say it. Vince is it. Um, anyway, I helped him get his book published. He's now got two books out there. I'm very proud of him. And he's a big boy. He doesn't need my help or anything like that. But I like being involved in watching his journey and talking about what he's doing, what I'm doing, what's working, what's not. I have another friend of mine, David Treadway. So I met David at one of my book talks. I came to the Sons of the American Revolution to do my talk um, about the fiddle tunes of the Civil War, or it's actually called A Brief History of the American Civil War through Fiddle Tunes. And David, while I was setting up, was explaining to me that he had a book that he was writing, and I was very interested in it. And I said, "Look, man, when you are ready, let me know." Because he lives in Hendersonville, which is not too far, maybe 20 minute, half hour drive. So when you're ready to publish, come talk to me, and I'll help you. I'll help you walk it through, at least through the KDP program, which is what I use on Amazon. KDP means Kindle Direct Publishing, but you can also publish print, both paperback, hardcover. There's all sorts of ways that you can sell through Amazon through the KDP program. So anyway, this morning I woke up around 6 o'clock. My alarm set for 7, but sometimes I get up a lot earlier. And I had some messages from David. Hey Lloyd, how you doing, man? No, you are also the man, Lloyd Elmore Jr., a good friend of mine, a fellow author. And if you're watching, you're interested in reading some good kind of spooky, eerie stuff, Lloyd's your man. We're gonna eventually gonna have Lloyd on here as soon as I figure out the technology to be able to do this. So, David sent me a message this morning. He said, "Hey, man, I got my final draft ready to go. I'm working on the cover right now. Are you going to still be able to help me?" I said, "Absolutely." He asked me if I remembered who he was. I'm like, "Dude, I like your post on Facebook on a daily basis. Of course, I know who you are. Of course, I know what you've been working on." Be honest with you, I can't tell you right now what it was. It was a historical thing. I don't think it was fiction. I think it was a direct history, and it had to do. I think it was Civil War. But anyway, we'll find out. And when we do it, because I will, David, I take certain pride in the people that I help, and so if we get David published, and I'm going to be talking a lot about him and kind of prodding him along. Why do I do this? Because I'm a really nice guy. No, I'm as selfish as anybody else is. I do it for a couple of reasons. First of all, I kind of believe in karma. I mean, not realistically, but kind of a secular version of karma. Like the more I do for other people, eventually, good things will come my way. But also I do care about people, and I love dreamers, and I love helping people achieve their dreams. And I know what it's like to struggle and to have the dream of writing and getting your books out there and getting readers. Um, and I really found this once I really got into this world. I really do like writers, whether they're people who are just working on it, getting started, or some of my biggest. I mean, the biggest rock stars in the world to me are not movie stars. They're not politicians. I kind of like musicians, but the ones that like I get starstruck over are other writers. And I am very proud to say that I am Facebook friends with some writers that I personally idolize and want to be like. So anyway, David's like, I want to take you out to lunch and pick your brain. Well, what David doesn't know, what a lot of people don't know, is that even though I seem like a very gregarious and fun-loving and outgoing person, I am a absolute introvert with crippling social anxiety. And one of the things is I don't like sitting in restaurants. I get really nervous. I think it's because I got attacked. I won't go into it, but I got somebody jumped me from behind, and I went to the hospital. We got the guy. He went to jail. But I just don't like being in loud, noisy places with strangers walking behind me while I'm sitting low. I got to be up. I don't like people behind. Okay, I won't get into that. But anyway, the truth is, I didn't want to just sit and have lunch and give advice. I told David, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to come over your house with my computer, and we're going to sit down, and we're going to get your book online and for sale on Amazon. And you can make me lunch or order lunch. And so that's what we're going to do. That's going to be next Thursday, a week from this Thursday. So hopefully, and sometimes it doesn't, because it's not like just anybody can just publish a book on Amazon. You have to be at least as smart as Lloyd. Um, but no, just kidding, Lloyd. But they're gonna look through it. They're gonna make sure the quality's there. Like you can't just put a bunch of junk with like misspellings and bad grammar and things like that. You have to have a pretty tight book. Maybe a book agent or a publishing house maybe would have rejected my book had I gone that route, but but certainly Amazon would not let me publish books if at least they're grammatically correct and spelling, then that's total trash. So anyway, we're gonna get David up and running, and hopefully I'll be able to talk a lot about David in the future, and have David on as well as Lloyd to talk about their journeys and where they're going and the things they might be trying things that I'm not trying, and I'd like to know what they're doing because a if you're watching this and you're an author and you want to learn, maybe you'll pick up some things, or maybe you will learn from my mistakes. Maybe I will learn from other people from the things that they're doing that they're succeeding or their mistakes. So one of the things I started to do is I decided like I want to really conquer Amazon ads. And why Amazon? Why not Facebook? Why not Google ads? And the reason why somebody laid this out to me and it makes perfect sense. Maybe eventually Facebook and maybe eventually Google ads and Goodreads and for Christ's sakes, TikTok. And I'm on those things. And I do organic marketing on TikTok. By the way, a real quick tip that I learned. Okay, get your pencils out. Book talk is a big thing. I read an article in I think it was either Axios or New York Times saying that put that hashtag book talk is a way to market your books. Now, it's not like a silver bullet where you're going to put it up there and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. But now, like brick and mortar shops are, instead of like the New York Times bestseller, which is meaningless, by the way, meaningless, is a complete scam. You can game the system. Anybody can be a New York Times bestseller if they want to spend the money to game the system. And I won't even get into that. That's a topic for another day. But you go into like a Barnes Noble or a Books a Million, you'll see a book and it says trending on Book Talk or on TikTok. I kid you not. And what it is if you are gonna like do a little TikTok video and say, hey, check out my book, the spaces between the spaces, put Book Talk in there, and all of a sudden all these people looking for books will see it. And I've seen videos where people are hashtag Book Talk, and they're like, look at all these books that I bought from TikTok. So I don't know anything about that, but we're going to get there. We're going to explore all those things. The same thing on Instagram, and Instagram's got a very interesting thing too. It's called Reels. It's basically the closest thing that Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, are ever going to get to the popularity of TikTok before they take it away, because it's really just spy software for the Chinese government so they can watch us all what we're doing as we're dancing in our bikinis. So what I'm saying is, this is something I want to fix, because I listen to myself and I'm like, dang it, Cody, you start topics and then you go crazy and go somewhere else. So this is what I'm saying. Why Amazon? Why not all these other things? Okay, well, eventually maybe we get money to burn, the other things too. But Amazon, because anywhere else, so let's just say I go to Facebook, I'm going to put some money on Facebook to get you to buy my book. Well, you got to see the ad on Facebook and then click it and it takes you to Amazon, right? But people aren't on, like, you know what? I just finished a great novel. I want to find out, I just finished a Stephen King novel. I want to read Malinville, or I want to find something, and you see an ad. You're not going to Facebook to look for books to read, but you are going to Amazon. So you get more bang for your buck on Amazon because people are already on the platform with the idea that they want to buy a book and they're looking for books. So that's where you want to start first. Then you can start branching out the other things if you have the budget for it. Now, I have been doing Amazon ads for a while now, and I will say that I have spent, I mean, overall, I'm making, okay, I'm making money. But when it comes to like sales attributed to the money, sales attributed to my ads, I'm still spending more money on my ads than I am getting back from the sales. Okay. And I know that I'm kind of like an ape at the beginning of 2001 where the big monolith comes and I'm banging on it with a stick because I have no idea what it is. I got on there. I think I watched a YouTube video or something like that and said, okay, I got this. And I've been doing some ads, and actually my ads in UK are pretty hot. And I don't know if that's just because I'm doing better in general in the UK or what it is, but I seem to do better. Like, I'm not kidding you right now, this month, I think about 90% of my income. And this is my second best July out of 4 Julys. This is my second best July, 4 or 5 Julys. This is my second best July ever. And the only July that was better than this July was last July, which happened to be right after I put out Blood for Blood at Nashville. So, of course, when you are publishing books and you put a book out, you're going to get a huge surge in sales. It's just, especially if it's the third book in a trilogy like mine is. So I had readers, I had people who were literally like, when is the book going to get done? I can't wait to read it. So I had a nice big pop of, my nice big explosion of sales. And of course, once that book came out and I had finished the series, all of a sudden now people are buying all three of the books. And what's really interesting is a lot of times that's exactly what happens. Now you can see it on the Kindle Unlimited readers, that you can see like the progression of one book will get a bunch of page reads and the next one and the next one, so that somebody's reading through the series. But I'm not more often than that, but time and time again, I'm seeing people that just flat out buy the whole series. You're like, screw it, I'm not even gonna like just buy the first book and see. I think I already know I'm in, so they buy the whole series, which is great. Great. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on to that. The book I'm writing now is a prequel, and all the books I'm going to write in the future are going to be, so far as I can see, are going to be in universe. So I'm not going to put numbers on them or anything like that because I don't want. Kevin Ashman taught me this. He's one of my favorite writers. He, I asked him why his books didn't have numbers on them anymore. He says because if it's book 7, people aren't going to buy it because they're going to like, well, fuck, I don't want to have to like read 6 books just to read this book. So you always write each book as if it's the very first book that person read, because they might see your book 4 sitting at somewhere where the other books aren't available, and they're like, well, I'm not going to buy this because I haven't read the other ones. So you always write your books as if um, think about your reader. So if you have to reference something or the reader needs to know something that happened in the previous book, you just write, you just kind of write a short little encapsulation of what happened so that they can, you see what I'm saying? And also, my books come out about, about a year apart, although this one's a little longer. So even more so, right? So it might be a year since they read the last one. So you got to help them out a little bit. Don't just assume that they have everything that you wrote in the last book memorized. You got to help them out there. So anyway, I decided along with my finances with the stock market, which of course, as soon as I decided to get in the stock market, it starts crashing. But I decided that I'm going to spend at least 45 minutes on Sunday studying stock markets and investing and things like that, so that when I'm never retiring, never, but you know what I'm saying. When I get the age where I can start living off of retirement, which is a long time from now, long time, okay, long time, that I'll have a better understanding of what I'm doing instead of like waiting till then, like, wow, what is all this and what's an IRA? So I'm doing that, and then also I want to become an expert at Amazon ads. And not only so that I can increase my goal right now is I want to get more money back than what I put into Amazon ads. That's my goal right now. And I would like to become somewhat of an expert so I can help other people. Maybe someday. I mean, right now I'm just doing it to help people. Like I got friends or someone says, "Hey, Cody, I hear you did this. Do you think you can help me?" Sure, I'll help you out. Maybe one day, if I don't make it completely as an author and flying, through the McDonald's drive-through in my helicopter, I'll do it. I'll become a consultant. But right now, I just wouldn't have the moral authority to be able to do that because I am learning myself and maybe learning through the advice I'm giving other people. So I went on last Sunday and I learned something. This is very interesting. If you're an author right now and you're writing multiple books, here's something that I learned that I put into action immediately. And the guy said, I watched the video, and the guy said, and this is actually on Amazon's site. So this is a video that Amazon is hosting. So like Amazon wants you to win because if you win, they win because you're selling your product and they're taking their slice. So they're going to put things on there. They're not going to steer you wrong. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen on YouTube or wherever selling their courses. Oh, we're going to teach you how to be a number one author, blah, blah, blah. You just pay me this money. But you can't try. Amazon wants you to succeed. So you can trust them because they truly are on your side. So one of the things that this guy said is, and I was glad to hear that a lot of the things that I'm hearing, I was already instinctively doing, but I adjusted this one. At the end of my first book of my trilogy is a preview of the next book. And I just take like a very exciting scene and I put it on there. And if you get the digital version, the Kindle version, or through Kindle Unlimited, there's a link. So you can get you're laying in your bed at 10:36 on a Monday night. You really should be going to bed, but you just finished my book. You might want to, well, screw it. I'm going to download the next one and read just for another 20 more minutes. But what this guy said, and the way, first of all, the way I had it was bookends. Then there is, and I did write with no link, find out what happens next in the next book, blah, blah, blah. And then I do like historical historical note, and then I do sources, and then other, and then it comes the preview for the next book. But what this guy said is like, put that link immediately at the end of the narrative. So like soon as you write, so soon as the story ends, the end, uh, find out what happens next in the exciting sequel, Perils of Perryville. And so that way they don't have to go scrolling through all the junk they don't want to read right now, like the historical note or the sources or like that. The link is right there. So they read the end, and then right below in a hyperlink, the Perils of Perryville. And by the way, if you're not using this, try BookLinker. Now they're changing their site, but BookLinker is a great source. It's booklinker.com. And basically, you can create a universal link for your book. So, what does that mean? That means, right? Like I sell books literally all over the world. Some of my other titles, my novels, uh, I sell a lot in UK. And I have sold at least one in Poland, one in Italy, and I think I've sold. But my other book, like the nonfiction book, the Civil War was about slavery, that has sold all over the world. I've sold copies in India, Japan, everywhere. Now they don't go to Amazon.com; they go to Amazon.jp if you're in Japan, or Amazon.uk if you're in the United Kingdom. So at first, when I was selling books, I was creating separate links to go to, if you're in the UK, go to, the site for my book.uk, because they're not going to buy it from .com. They're going to buy it from .sp if they're from Spain, or I think it's ES from Spain, actually. So if you go to BookLinker, you can create a universal link for your book, so and use that everywhere, so that when they click on it, wherever they are in the world, it's going to take them to that version of of Amazon. So if they live in Brazil, it's going to take them to the version of your book landing page, but on Amazon dot, I think BR is for Brazil. So that's a very important tool. If you're not using it already, you should. And that way, I could put one link at the end of my book, and wherever they're reading it. And right now, it's mostly in the UK. When they click on, get the next book, it's going to take them to Amazon UK to buy my book there. So that is something. So I started doing that right away. The other thing is, the guy who did this video, they were putting together, I think I got an email from them or something. I can't remember where I found this, but it was from Amazon. He works for this company. I can't remember what it's called. And yes, they're trying to, it's not a hard sell. They're giving you, okay, bearing the lead here. It's a 5-day free. It's called the 5-day author ad profit challenge. It's a 5-day course. It's absolutely free. And why are they, and it's through Amazon. Why are they doing it? Because Amazon's doing it because they want you to succeed. They want you to be able to get more money out than you put in when it comes to buying ads, because they're going to make, if you're making money on Amazon, they're making money on Amazon. So remember that. I always think about where the money's going, think about where the money train, and you can see where people's motivations are. And the guy putting on the course, their motivation is they're hoping that maybe some of the people may stick around and buy whatever their program is, or you get coached all year round, which, I don't think I'm going to do that just yet, but the free thing for sure. And so today was the first day, and it's running today, tomorrow, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday. And basically, in the morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, they send you basically a video and a blog post, and it tells you all the things you have to learn. And so today, what we did was called where is it here? I didn't write down. It is the sponsored categories ad. So there's different ways that you can advertise your book on Amazon. This one, and it's actually one that I've used before, just not the way they're saying to do it, where where you advertise just by category. So, for example, I write my like Rampage on the River. It's historical fiction. It's war fiction. It's his military historical fiction. Um, I think those are, and there. I think one of those One. Sorry, I got something in my nose. One of those categories is repeated for books or for Kindle, which I kind of feel like if you just, I always advertise for my Kindle page because if you want a paperback, it's right there. You can just, oh, it's in paperback, click on it, or in hardcover. So I send everybody to the Kindle page first. Why? Because it's got the lowest price. It's only $2.99, right? So you might go there because that price, like psychologically, oh, that's nothing, $2.99. And then you go there, like, oh, but they got it in paperback for $9.99. Boom, you buy that one. So that's kind of one of those psychological things that you do. So the challenge was, or today, basically taught people some things I didn't need to know, like how to set up an account with KDP and all that kind of stuff. And if you are published through a publisher, how to navigate it so that you can claim your books on KDP and still, like, let's say you are, um, you're Bernard Cornwell, one of the most successful historical fiction writers living today, and you're watching this right now, and you're like, well, Cody, all my books are published through, I don't know, Penguin or whatever. You can still go, Bernard. You can still go on there. You set up an account and then you claim your books. It might take a day or two for them to verify it, and then you can personally run ads if your publisher is not running them for you. So there's some free advice for you, Bernard. Mr. King, is the same thing goes for you. So so what I did is I had multiple ads running in the UK, multiple ads running in the US. I shut all my ads down, all my ads down. And I have a real bad habit. I'm really bad at following directions. Like, it's not that I don't understand. It's that I can't help but to improvise. Like, I read in directions like, well, that's kind of stupid. I'm going to do it this way, or oh, wouldn't it be cool if I did this? And this is the way I cook. It drives Laura crazy. That's why when she cooks, I only follow orders, and when I cook, she's not allowed in the kitchen. Um, so so I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to shut everything down because it's a kind of an experiment. And so what they did is they had us create basic category ads. And this is something I didn't know. I put every category it would fit into for one ad. They say, no, 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 no. One category per ad. So I have multiple ads. So, like, for example, I would have 4 categories. I'd have uh, uh, war fiction, historical fiction, um, military historical fiction, and there was like one other, and I'd have them all. But they're like, no, 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 because you want to, you can, I guess you can. I don't know why, to tell you the truth. So I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to give you some bullshit made up reason because I don't know why. But here's the thing: I decided, okay, I'm not going to think the way I think. I'm going to do exactly what they said. They had us do custom copy. You get like 150 characters in your ad, and I had something pretty slick. They had me write a very basic thing, which is like title, adjective, type of book, and where it is in a series. And so it's like mine was Rampage on the River, a swashbuckling Civil War novel. It's the first in the Second Michigan Cavalry Chronicles trilogy. And even though my original copy is better, but I'm going to trust them. And I think one of the things that they're like, you want to be very clear, because you don't want people clicking on your ad and then not, because every time, and the way these ads work, by the way, is you pay every time someone clicks. They may show it to a million people, but you're not paying a penny until someone clicks on it. You don't want people clicking on your ad if they're not going to buy the book, because you got to pay for that click, right? So you want qualified people who are motivated to buy that. Oh, that looks interesting. And they click on your ad and look at it and they, okay, I'm in, and they buy it, right? And they say sometimes it takes several clicks to make one sale. So because they might see it multiple times while they're on Amazon. So so I did that, And the other thing is, he said all your default bids should be 39 cents. Don't vary it this or that. 39 cents. No more. For some of the other categories, maybe less, but no more, because at some point, if you make it too high, it's not worth it because you're spending more money for the sale. So I did it, and they said, set a $5. They said the homework today was create 1 to 3 ads following this formula here, that will end at the end of the month. And so I did 2, because I've had book sales already attributed to an ad that was advertising for war fiction, and I've also had book sales attributed to military historical fiction. So I picked those 2 because I had previous success. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. Tomorrow we're going to learn how to do automatic ads. I think I've done one of those as well. And so, a lot of the things I kind of already knew, but like a lot of this was guessing, and so I'm following their program, and I'm seeing if it works. And a lot, what I've learned about buying ads is that you got to experiment, and there's some trial and error. It's not you. There's not like a magic thing. And here's the thing that drives me crazy is I hate having choices. I know that sounds crazy, but I go to a restaurant and there's like go to like a flying saucer. It's a pub, and there's like 150 beers, and like, what kind of beer would you like? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. What if I pick the wrong one? There's 150 of them. So the Amazon ads, for books, there are so many variables that you can play with, man. There's so many things that you can do, and so many ways to go wrong. So I kind of want to learn this simple way of doing it, and then as I learn more, understand why you can tweak it this way or tweak it that way. So that is basically what's going on with that. Oh, by the way, I am once again, I start topics and then move on to something else. Yes, I've been doing this on Thursday nights. That was never going to be an official thing. It just kind of fell onto that. Laura usually comes over on Wednesday night, and I make dinner, and she stays the night. We because she's got something going on for different reasons. She's going to come tomorrow instead. So I'm not doing this tomorrow. I'm doing it today, and I also hopefully I'll get back on again soon, because I want to kind of update you on this course and the things I'm learning, because I think it's a good, I want to share the things I learned. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so I'll just get real quick to my own updates with going on with me. If you're a reader and you're waiting for my current book, I just finished chapter 33 today. And actually, I finished it last night, but I did some initial editing. And usually, what I do is I write the chapters as a separate document, and then when I finish it and get it ready, then I copy and paste it into the master document. So I have a master document, which is the whole book, except for whatever chapter I'm currently working on, and I keep the historical note and the sources as separate documents as well, because I go into there often. Because if, like, sometimes I don't know that I need to know something until I'm writing, like, shoot, how was that? And so I have to look up sources and find a good book and get it and read it, and then add that to my sources. So if I'm constantly going into the main document, which is now over 100,000 words long, hundreds of pages, it's hard to navigate up and down in that. And so I try to work on things in separate documents. So anyway, as of today, I am 106,354 words into Mexico, My Love. I'm on chapter 34. I think now it's once again it's expanding. I plan on X amount of chapters. It ends up being more. I thought I was going to get it done with 36 chapters with a epilogue that I'm calling Le Denouement, which is kind of like a fancy way of saying epilogue in French. But now it's going to be 37 chapters with Le Denouement at the end. So that's what's going on with that. I'm very excited with it. I'm still hoping to have it done. I had an arbitrary finish date based off of my performance in my last novels, that I would have the writing done on August 21st. That's still attainable. I will say this, that I'm picking up my pace. You got to do this as a writer, especially if you're working for yourself, because you it's really, you got to keep yourself disciplined, right? And one of the ways I do it, I have all sorts of spreadsheets to track my performance, whether it's how many words I'm writing a month, to what my sales are. Like I talked earlier about, like being able to uh, look at all my Julys and see which one's the best and which one, um, all those things, so I can kind of keep track of it. And I'll say that I my months, because I started this book on the 15th, I think, June 15th or May 15th of 2021. So so I'm in the 14th month, but I try to average at least 8,000 words a month. I'm over 10,000 words for this month, which is the best month I've had in a long time. Um, I've had a lot of bad months. I mean, there was never a month where, I mean, the lowest I had was like 3,000 in a month. Now, I will say, I mean, uh, not to make excuses, I do a lot of short-term, part-time contracts to kind of help keep me along in bills and groceries while I'm building my writing empire. And last fall, I got hired by three different companies, and I made the mistake of saying yes to too many people and got way in over my head, to the point where I was working multiple jobs on the same day and 7 days a week for months. And everything worked out. I made a ton of money. Didn't get a lot of write. I got some writing done, but I didn't get a lot written. But those were sparse months. But right now, I'm not in between jobs, because I'm working for RTI, which is a research company, and we just finished one study, and so I've been idle, but we're starting a new one, and we're already doing some preliminary stuff. We've had some online meetings, and I do some online training at the end of the month, and I'm going to Atlanta to do some in-person training, and then I'll be doing a lot of work for them into the fall, and then we'll see what happens after that. I mean, the nice thing is this kind of work. Um, I can kind of set my own schedule, and so if someone says, "Hey, can you come and do a talk at our place?" Which is a 6-hour drive from where I live, I can say yes, and I don't have to worry about getting off work, because I kind of set my own schedule with the work I do. So that's basically it. I'm gonna let you guys go. God, Lloyd, I hope I didn't keep you up. I know you like to go to bed right around this time. And if anybody is watching this, please follow me or I'm sorry, subscribe to me, because if I get enough subscriber or enough hours watched, they'll start monetizing my videos. But subscribe to me on YouTube, and to like this. And if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to send a give a comment. I'll be looking them. Trust me, no one does. So I'll be happy to reply to your comment, even if it's me. I'll be sad, but I will reply, and I'll be nice when I reply. So you can go ahead and be mean to me. I don't care. Anyway, check out my books. They're in the description below. Lloyd is still up. Lloyd, go to bed. V1NCE is it. Hang in there, buddy. Thanks for joining us. And you guys keep writing. And as one of my favorite writers once said to me, he wrote it in my copy of his book. He said, keep dreaming. Oh, and I hit the wrong thing. That was going to be like a real dramatic sign out, but I hit edit instead of end stream. So here we go, end stream.